Viewer discretion is advised.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Train Sim World 2020. My name is YoAdrian, and today we are going to be back with the Peninsula corridor. Going to be taking another look at the MP36PH Baby Bullet DLC for Train Sim World. Now, I should be showing off the Oakville subdivision, but this is a scenario that I kind of wanted to do because it kind of does show off the cab car a lot, or it does show off the cab car and the MP36. So I've actually did a video on recording on this before, but I ended up having to scrap it because I waited too long to actually upload it. So that is why you see that it has been completed. So I know exactly what happens in the scenario, but I'm just going to act like I don't know anything. So basically, prepare and drive a Baby Bullet service south to San Jose through the sweltering summer heat, and we'll be using both the MP36 and the cab car. So let's go ahead and hop in the scenario and see what it's all about. Alright, welcome to a very hot summer at San Francisco. Takeover service from the previous driver. Alright, so let's go ahead and hop in the cab car here. Unlock the door. Climb up the step. And let's go ahead and hop in the engine here so I can turn on the marker lights, which are for some reason up here, and we can turn on, for some reason you can turn on one or the other or both. I never understood that, but you can do that. Let's go ahead and come down here, get down, and let's go ahead and come to the engineer seat. But yeah, guys, like I said, I actually did this video a while ago, back when we first moved into this new place for the most part, but I did not ever have a chance to actually edit and upload it and whatnot, so I had to scrap it. So we're going to hop back into it here for the most part. So it's going to be basically like a part 2, even though we never really had a part 1 on the channel. I had a part 1 sitting on my computer. So let's go ahead and come here, turn everything on. Boom, boom, boom. Cutoff valve is going to passenger. And we're going to insert that reverser. And let's go ahead and unlock the doors so that we can get our passengers up and loaded in. It does take a while for the doors to open and close. What I have noticed about this DLC for so far. It does take a while for them to actually open and close. I have noticed that a lot. And there has been a lot of questions, and a lot of the stuff that I'm actually going to be talking about in this video is stuff that I have seen on the stream for whatchamacallit, for the DLC here. So there's still a lot of questions and a lot of reviews on it. Can I get the lock? It just says load passengers. Oh, here we go. Alright, move forward, release the brakes. Here we go. Look at that MP36PH. I do want the crossing lights on, so let's go ahead and do crossing lights. There we go. And I love how they are LEDs. I absolutely freaking love that they are actually LED crossing lights, which is nice. So we're gonna go head up to Bayshore here. But one thing, there is on the reviews tab on Steam, there's a lot of people saying that the screen does not function in the cab. And from what I found out is on the actual Caltrain when they were received, the screen does not work at all either. It's supposedly like a PTC type thing, or the PTC screen. And supposedly it doesn't even work in real life. So they made it prototypical to that, which was kind of cool how they did that, honestly. But we are speeding, so we're going to go ahead and slow down here. I didn't realize it was a 10. But yeah, so that screen does not actually work in real life either. One of the things that I kind of jokingly said in the stream, and a couple other times whenever we were playing with the Caltrain DLCs, like the actual Peninsula corridor and stuff, is I was kind of saying that we have the Baby Bullet and we have the gallery with the F40 PH, Now all we need is the MP15DC switcher, and, well, Dovetail Games actually announced that the Caltrain switcher is coming out soon to Train Sim World. And I'm sitting there like, I turned on my computer a couple days ago, and I sat there and was reading it, and it opened up Steam and stuff like that, and then I sat there and saw that, and I'm like, you're fucking kidding me. So we are actually getting the MP15DC for Caltrain coming soon to Train Sim World, and I am kind of excited. And I'm like, I kind of said that as a joke, but it's actually coming to Train Sim World. So I'm like, that is freaking awesome. So now we'll have the whole set in Train Sim World. Hopefully whenever their new electrification project is done, because what Caltrain is actually trying to do is they're trying to electrify the whole route. So instead of there being diesel locomotives, they're going to have a couple EMUs going to be coming into the route and basically taking over for these for the most part. So I'm hoping that these actually go to Metra. Hoping Metra actually purchases them. I feel like that's something they would do, especially with their old gallery cars. I feel like that is something Metra would do. But I don't know for certain what the plan is for that or how long it's actually going to take. But I did see a video that they were going to electrify pretty much the whole entire route. So I'm pretty excited for that. That's actually kind of cool. I know Metra, all their lines but one is one line out of all of them is electrified, which is of course, Metra Electric route, which runs to University Park and all throughout like Millennium Station and Blue Island and stuff like that. So I know they've had a lot of success with the electrification route. And I know Caltrain is going to be following in the same footsteps. So that'll be kind of nice. They're going to be replacing basically the MP36s, the F40s. The switchers I don't necessarily know about. I don't think they actually have any plans for like electric like switchers and stuff like that. But I could be wrong though. I don't know. I know that Caltrain ended up purchasing a couple ex-Amtrak AEM7 locomotives to do the testing for the electrification route. So I think they have like 3 or 4. I think it's either in between 2 to 4 AEM7 toaster locomotives to test out the lines. So that'll be kind of nice. Maybe seeing those. Maybe a lot of people actually have videos of those up on the channels. On not on mine, but like on theirs. I don't know. I don't know when this electrification project is supposed to begin. So we're just going to leave it at that. Another article I read was that the North Carolina Department of Transportation, for their like Piedmont service, actually ended up purchasing a shit ton of the old circus train cars for like the Barnum and Bailey, Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus. And they're basically just kind of chilling because they ended up getting federal funds for brand new rail cars. So they don't really know what the certain future is for the circus cars that they purchased. They're just kind of there for the most part. So we're going to be going towards Bayshore, which is about 3.5 miles. And I end up blinding that engineer, but that's alright. I should have dimmed the headlights, but that's all good. It's all good. But yeah, so they ended up getting a federal funding for new rail cars. So I don't know what their plan is for it. But they've got a whole bunch of cars sitting. So if you guys ever do see any rail cars sitting in your town, and if you're living out in North Carolina, do take a picture and send it to me, because I kind of want to see what they look like now, if they're all like tagged up and rusted and stuff like that. I don't know. Well, that'd be kind of nice to see what they kind of look like. Let's actually go ahead and turn on the alerter. Maybe I can't. That's fine. We'll try to do it at the station stop. But yeah, I do get a lot of questions about on my Train Sim World videos about CSX Heavy Haul for consoles. Now, I got this answer from a Dovetail Games live stream of the new Peninsula corridor. Or not the Peninsula corridor, of the Caltrain Baby Bullet DLC stream. So I'm not the one who asked it, another person actually asked it, but the one thing I can say is that CSX Heavy Haul is the longest route in the game. hands down. Peninsula Corridor is your second longest route in the game. So, what he basically said was, on consoles, Peninsula Corridor is the longest route. So that kind of got me thinking that CSX Heavy Haul is not available for consoles, and in the stream he basically said that that was correct. So if you guys are going to be asking, or if you guys are watching this video wanting to pick up Train Sim World, CSX Heavy Haul is not available for consoles. It is only available for the PC version of the game. And like I said, that is from a Dovetail stream from their, when they were showing off this DLC for this train set. So that is actually from words from Dovetail developers and testers and stuff like that. That's not something that I just, made up. So, but other than that, any route or DLC, don't panic. The head-end power has failed. Focus on getting to Millbrae, and you can investigate the fault when we get there. Okay, so HEP's down for the most part, and we're going to blind him. Yep, we're going to blind him. That's fine. We blinded 2 engineers already. Oh well. I need to turn on that cav light. There we go. Alright. We are speeding as well. So, but yeah, any other DLC that comes out for Train Sim World, like whether it be a train set, a route, the onboard conductor has informed the passengers that this train will be terminating at Millbrae. I don't understand. Because I really don't understand why. If the HEP failed, basically what we did on Amtrak when it got shut down was that we ended up just stopping the train at the next station if we were close, or just stop the train and just turn it back on, and it turned back on. So I'm not quite sure what's going on with this and why they're terminating the train, but we'll see when we get to Millbrae and see what happens. But yeah, so CSX Heavy Haul is not NOT available for Train Sim World on consoles. It is PC exclusive. So I know I get a lot of questions about that, and I just wanted to basically let you guys know that that is what Dovetail Games has actually said. That is not going off my speculation. So yeah, hope you guys are enjoying the video so far. Let me know if you guys are in the comments. I do love this DLC. Let me know if you guys do as well. Let me know if you guys want to see more Oakville sub in the comments down below as well. Would love to hear it. Let me know what you guys actually want to see in Train Sim, ATS, whatever. Just give me your video suggestions in the comments below as well. But yeah, we got a clear indicator here. Going to be coming into Millbrae here soon. Coming up to a 70-mile-an-hour zone. But yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. Very looking forward to that. Like I said, the switcher's coming out. I'm looking forward to that as well. So yeah, if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys follow me on all the social media, Twitter, Instagram, Discord, or Facebook, all that fun stuff, as well as join the Discord server. I want to try to get it more active in there, so joining that Discord server will be completely helpful to me in getting it active and talkative and everything like that as well. So hopefully guys, hopefully you guys can join that. We're going about 66 miles an hour here. Up to a 70, about 5 miles left till we hit our location our location here for Millbrae. But yeah, along with the HEP generator, as I was stating that on Amtrak, sometimes the HEP would shut down, so basically means the power would shut down on the train. For the most part, driven 36 miles. Woohoo! But yeah, what we ended up doing is they basically just engineer, if we were close to a station, would just stop the train at a station stop. Or if we were not close, we would end up just coming to a complete stop, and they would just turn the HEP back on basically, because it didn't shut down too often, but I do remember it doing it a couple of times. So I'm not sure why they don't just let us, come to a stop and then try to reset it. But they're making us go all the way to the station stop. So right now, none of the passengers actually have power in the car. So they can't charge their phones. The only lighting is the secondary lighting, which is like the emergency lighting basically. So that's the only lights on in the cars. No air conditioner. And like they said, it is a summer day, so there's no air conditioner. So that definitely has to suck for a lot of passengers right now, especially ones that do sweat a lot. Yeah, so they're probably not having a fun trip today. They could have had a stop at any of these actual station stops, but I'm guessing since, you know, none of the express trains stopped there, that they weren't going to let us. I don't know. I'm just the engineer. They don't tell me anything for the most part. So yeah, I don't know. That honestly does not make any sense to me. Why they didn't just have me stop and try to restart it. But I'm not going to argue with the dispatcher and with the conductor, so I'm just going to drive the train, do what they tell me to do, and then if they want to terminate it at Millbrae, we'll end up just terminating at Millbrae. And holy crap, that really made the train fucking wobble a lot, or curve to one side on that curve. About 3.4 miles. Didn't even see that whistle post sign for that. Coming in on another clear indicator. Another whistle post sign coming up. Coming up on an approach signal in about a mile. Not sure what the approach signal's for. There we go. Alright. Got another curve coming up over here. Put our maximum speed of 60. So let's go ahead and start slowing down here. I need to start paying more attention to that. Or 65 is the speed limit. I need to start paying a lot more attention to that. I don't know why. Recently I just have not been for some reason. Cool. Station stop is cleared. Turn off the bell. So we got an approach diverging coming up. About 2 right here. So I'm not quite sure. It might be diversion clear. I don't know. To our next station stop. Looks like it's going to be another approach in about 0.8 miles. I love that this route actually, or this game actually gives you like points for driving under the speed limit, which is nice. Unlike, you know, Train Sim 2020, which didn't. And then if you were driving above the speed limit, you'd go from like 1 point to 2 points, to 8 points to 20 points. To 50 to like 200, and it's like, god damn. It's like, you gonna take off points much? But train number, I believe that's what the train number is, that LED number. I believe that's the train number. I don't know for certain, but here we are on a advanced approach signal. About 1.5 miles to Millbrae. Not quite certain what's going on. But what I'm actually going to go ahead and do is turn on the marker lights for here, so that whenever we go ahead and get on board, we'll be good to go. We got 2 whistle posts coming up. Let's go and see what this signal states as regular approach. So let's go ahead and go low down to 45. Where's the second one? Oh, it's coming up. I see it. We got a stop signal coming up soon. About 1.2 miles. Interesting. Got a stop signal coming up. But man, those markers look good with the ditch lights and everything. It just looks phenomenal, ladies and gentlemen. Not too sure what the stop signal is all about. I thought this was supposed to be an express train, so we didn't have to deal with that bullshit. But I guess we do. Let's go ahead and dim the headlights so we don't blind this guy. Oh, this is Millbrae. Shit. I didn't realize this was Millbrae. Alright, let's try this again. So you see what happens when Adrian doesn't pay attention. He fucks up big time. So here we are coming into Millbrae now. This is what happens when Adrian doesn't pay attention to what he's doing. Which I was not paying attention to what I was doing. God, that's horrible. I need to start paying more attention. I just completely forgot that that's where we were stopping at. Like, I don't know. I honestly have no idea. I need to start paying a lot more attention to things. Alright, here we go. Finally coming to a stop here at Millbrae. What's nice is Caltrain actually does have blended braking on their MP36, which I find weird only because it has a dynamic brake setting as well. So you see here you can go to dynamic brake, but you can also, but it has blended braking as well, which I think is kind of weird that it actually has both. But I don't know what to say about it, so. Alright, so the passengers are unloaded. Let's go ahead and lock the doors. I think that's what with the passengers safely off the train, focus on getting the head and power back on. Let's go ahead and shut it off if I can. There we go. Looks as though as the engine has overheated and has failed completely. This train will have to get taken out of service and diagnosed. Our closest inspection sightings will be San Francisco. Son of a bitch, man, that's the closest? Damn. Set back in the seat. Set the reverser to neutral, which it is. Cut out valve to cut out. And all switches to off. Remove that reverser handle. And let's go ahead and head to the cap car by turning this off. Turn y'all off. Done. Close the window. Open you. Climb down these steps over here. Oh, nope. Climb down the steps. Shut the door. There we go. And marker lights are on. Perfect. Let's go ahead and climb up here. Let's go ahead and head back to the cab car. It looks like we're going to be heading back the same exact way we were going. Now, when I wasn't paying attention, there was actually a service here, so I'm not sure if we'll actually be following him or not. I don't actually for certain know. So let's go ahead and come back to the cab car here. Go ahead and open this door. Climb up it. Shut the door. Passenger safety instructions. Yep, I don't want that open. Let's go and oh, fuck my life. Here we go. Sit here. Alright. Set engine run, all that fun stuff. Fuel pump. Generator field. And engine run. Engine run button to on, which is right here. Set the reverser to forward. Automatic brake to cut off valve to out. To in. And apply power. That's what it says to do. Reversers in forward. Automatic brake is released. And let's go ahead and apply some power to it. Turn off the markers. And let's go ahead and turn on some lights. Number board lights, I don't need those honestly. Cab light, no. Cab light, no. Console light, no. Headlights, here we go. Bright and auxiliary. I hate how it's like it just curves like that. I really do hate that. But I love how they're LEDs as well. That just like brightens my entire fucking day. I don't know why, it just does. You got the horn here, the bell, door enabled left, because we don't want any doors open, which they shouldn't be open. Door enabled right, park and brake, we don't need that. All that's off. It's also cool how it shows you exactly what lights are on in the cab or outside the thing there. We got this thing on, which doesn't actually work. And then you have, yeah, your marker lights over here. I don't know why you're telling me to go 25. Oh, diversion clear, that's why. That would be completely why. But yeah, there was actually one time I was taking in Metra back home from I think it was my grandpa's house, I believe. Yeah, I think it was my grandpa's house. I was taking the Metro back home. Let me actually turn these cab lights on real quick. Don't need that one. But yeah, ended up taking the Metro home with my mom, and we were taking the Milwaukee District West line, and it was right around Western Avenue when the lights just shut off in the train. So I knew it had to been like it's the first time it's ever happened on Metro that I've seen, for me at least. So the HEP went down. And so they pulled it into Metro Station. The assistant conductor, the train master, I guess, who they call it, and the not train master, train man, or whatever, ended up trying to reset the whole thing. Or reset it, I guess he wasn't able to reset it. And there's actually, I have a video up of it on my YouTube channel. I'll have a link down in the description below if you guys do want to check that out. It's the actual rail fanning video from my archive, so it's a little bit older. But I like how they're called auxiliary lights for Caltrain. That's just funny. But yeah, so the HEP ended up going down. So the engineer actually came out of the cab car, tried to go went into the locomotive to try to actually like figure out what's going on with it and what the issue was and everything. And supposedly the HEP ended up burning, the generator or something ended up burning out. So probably the same like deal with this, what we have going on over here with this train today. So it was of course the hottest day in Chicago that year for the most part, and there was no air conditioning on the train, no lights except for like your secondary like emergency lights, no air conditioner, nothing. So it was luckily it was the last stop before Chicago, so they didn't have to like go too far. But yeah, I bet that was one of the roughest like 20 minute rides ever for a lot of passengers. Because that would have been a rough ride for me at least. Especially doing all of that. And here we go, coming up to a 70 here. 65 coming up as well. So let's go and start slowing down to 65. I know there's a station stop coming up. Yep, there it is right there. Alright, so we slowed down. Man, you can't even tell that like anything's on. So the brake is applied. Which we don't want it to be applied. There it goes. But yeah, I was like, that's kind of funny. I've never actually had that happen on Metro before. And it's happened on Amtrak, but that's a first for Metro at least. So that was a fun experience for sure. Not for the other passengers that have to go all the way down to Chicago's Union Station. What is a fun experience for me though. But along with talking about Amtrak, oh, I forgot to flag that crossing. Oh well, I didn't even see it coming up. But going along with the whole Amtrak deal, Amtrak's brand new Acela train set is made its way from Alstom in New York to Pueblo, Colorado to the FRA test track. So I'm really excited about that. Basically, it's called the Avelia Liberty. Is going to be the new name of the train set, but it's still going to be part of an Amtrak Acela. I believe it's going to be part of Amtrak Acela. I don't know if they're going to rename it to the Avila Liberty. I doubt it. But it says on the side of it, it says next generation of Acela. Now, to me, it kind of looks kind of cool. But the engine does kind of look kind of weird. But I kind of like it. And I don't at the same time. Like, I just don't know how to actually, like, put it, basically. It looks weird. But it looks cool at the same time. But it's also, the consists are a little bit longer. So the standard Acela is 6 cars. This one's actually 9 cars. But I've noticed that the cars are a lot shorter than the standard Acela cars. So I'm not quite certain about that whole ordeal, what's going on with that. But they are a lot shorter than your standard Acela cars were. Now we are on a clear. So currently they're at the FRA test track in Pueblo, Colorado. So they'll be going for some additional testing and stuff like that. And along with the new Acellas, the Simeon Charger, which is the new face of Amtrak basically in the Midwest, the Cascades, California. Basically, they had a long-distance test train running the route of the Empire Builder down the Coast Starlight and then back to Chicago via the Zephyr route, and then it ran back in reverse to test the acceleration, braking, and dynamics of the Charger locomotive. So if you guys are watching this video and you haven't heard, Amtrak is actually purchasing Charger units. I believe they said a 79, I believe is what the initial amount was. So they'll be purchasing 79 Charger units similar to the SC44 series. I think they're going to be like AC40 something. I don't know. I know it was like something AC. But they'll be purchasing those for use on their long distance trains. It's going to have a little bit of a different features than what the SC44s offer. So it's going to have a bigger fuel tank, something better for acceleration and braking and stuff like that. And basically built to withstand long distance travels and stuff like that, unlike the SC44s were. So supposedly they ended up passing tests. I believe that's what I've read or heard. I don't know if it's actually true or not. But we got about 6.8 miles to go for the most part. But yeah, so they had that test train. And then the Chargers ended up having their own trip alone. So it was 2 Chargers and then a P42 in case something happened. But the first trip was on the California Zephyr, and the first trip honestly did not go too well. And that is because right outside of Reno, Nevada, the train hit a cement truck. So the whole front end of that Charger was destroyed. Luckily, the crew had non-life-threatening injuries, the crew inside the locomotive and stuff like that. There were barely any injuries on that crash, so that's a good sign. But yeah, it completely smashed the engineer's window from the photo that I've seen, and supposedly had a lot of front end damage to it, which it hit a cement truck, and that's one of the reasons why I do not like the Charger units and stuff like that. So, and unlike the P42s where you're higher up so you can withstand more of a crash if you end up hitting something, the Charger units, you're a lot closer to the ground. You're basically on like ground level with these Chargers, so if you hit something, you're basically fucked for the most part. But I know they probably have a lot of like crash resistant material and stuff like that they've got on there, so I know that they have that, so that's going for them. But yeah, that whole engineer's window was completely shattered, and I saw some other like damage to the side and stuff like that. So I believe that's actually the 3rd Charger unit to actually be involved in a wreck so far, since they overtook on Amtrak. You had the Cascades wreck, which was the first Charger unit that ended up getting into an accident, which of course it fell off of an overpass, so that one's probably going to be scrapped right now for the most part, which is still a horrible wreck, and I guess all the lawsuits are coming back now that people filed because of the negligence on Amtrak for having an engineer out there that, wasn't properly trained on the route. Supposedly they didn't see the speed limit sign, took the curve going way too fast. So there's a lot of weight on Amtrak for that one, because they kind of did screw up, especially knowing that the engineer wasn't ready to run the route, even though they made him run that route. But they had the Amtrak 393, the Illini wreck, which hit a box truck south of Chicago, which ended up derailing the train. Now that's actually the first derailment for that train line, but for like the Illini and Saluki trains, that's the first derailment. There were a couple with the city of New Orleans, but none with the Illini Saluki. They have hit cars a few times, but no derailments, and I thought that was a whistle post sign, but I guess it was not. So, but yeah, and then now this would be the 3rd one that actually got into an accident. So the Chargers have actually been semi-decent for the most part. I mean, I didn't care for them at first because, I love the P42s, but they kind of ended up dawning on me. And now supposedly everyone's purchasing them Via Rail in Canada's purchasing them. Mark's purchasing them out there, or Mark has them already. Brightline is using Simeon's consists and stuff like that, and just a whole bunch of other train lines are actually purchasing these Mark units, or not Mark units, god damn it, or purchasing these Simeon's units for their trains. So they're going to be basically the face of passenger railroad for a long time, I'm assuming. But I don't see Metra ever purchasing them, or Caltrain, since, you know, they're trying to electrify their line. I don't see them purchasing them anytime soon. But I know Via Rail is, Mark is, or if they have not already. I think Tri-Rail is as well. I'm not 100% certain though, but we're on Advanced Approach right here. But yeah, a lot of railroad passenger commuter like railroads and like stuff like that are actually purchasing them, which is nice. But all in all total, that's the 4th Simeon's unit that has gotten in an accident, including that ACS 64 that ended up hitting that curve in Pennsylvania in 2015. So all in all, those are pretty much your accidents with Simeon's units so far, since Simeon's has came out with actual like trains and stuff like that, locomotives and everything. So not too many, but that doesn't mean that there's not going to be any in the future. So unknown to certain fate of the P-42s, with of course everyone going for Simeon, so it's unknown what the P-42s are going to be doing. And of course I wasn't paying attention to the speed, so we're going super fucking fast. Faster than we should be going. Coming up to a 25 here. Luckily there ain't no passengers on this train, but I should have been paying more attention, and I wasn't, just because I don't like these like markers. I wish they actually had like signs that tell you what the speed limits are, because I don't like these fucking markers. There we go. Because you can't see them half the time, and it's like you don't know that you're coming up to whatever, a 25 or a 40, because they're all like in front of each other. So I really wish they actually had like signs or something that would tell you like, hey, you're coming up to a 40, or you're coming up to whatever this is. So yeah, but we are coming up to San Francisco sidings here. We're just going to speed up to about 25. Alright. Here we are coming into the sidings. Let's go ahead and turn the cab light off. We ain't going to need that anymore. We're just going to go ahead and turn these to dim, because we don't actually need the auxiliary lights anymore. And we're coming up to a 5. Perfect. Coming up to a 5. So we're going to be going 5 miles an hour the rest of the way. That's always fun. Cab set up key. Headlights are dim. And we'll actually just go ahead and turn the marker lights on while it's sitting out here in the yard, because we'll have marker lights out on both sides of this train. So about 360 yards left to go. Let's go and shut the window. Oh, there's stuff up here I didn't even notice. What is this for? Door. Open. Close. Is there one on this side too? I don't know what side this is for though. That's the only thing. Let's try to use it. Let's see what side it goes for. No side. Well, since we're coming into a straightaway track, let's just go ahead and not do that shit again. Let's just open up this door over here. Oh, it's locked. So you can't actually open it unless you're stopped, which is good. That means no passenger can open the fucking thing, which is good. Alright. So here we're coming up to a siding here. San Francisco siding. They're probably going to have us turn everything off as well. So we'll turn the cutout to keep it on in for right now. Duh, I don't want to shut it off just yet. So sadly, we ended up failing, or our HEP ended up failing on this trip, which Kind of sucked, but it is what it is. Shit happens. And that's basically what happened today. So they're going to have to get picked up by another service. I didn't see another one heading that way, so they're probably going to be stranded for a while, unfortunately. But, of course, that's nothing that you and I can do. So we're just going to be stopped over here in the San Francisco sidings and probably walk back to the station for the most part. Communication system. To use VHF radio, public address, intercom, passenger call, intercom to locomotive, and hanging headset cancels any selected function. Okay. So about 30 yards left to go. Let's put you back in neutral for now anyway, because we're not going to need you in forward anymore. Reduction it. There we go. Lock down the train here and head over to the offices on the far side of the line. Headlights are going off. So we just have the marker lights, or should just have the marker lights, which we do. And on the rear as well. So throttle is in idle. Reverser is in neutral. Automatic brake is in full service. Okay, so it said full service, but it actually wanted it in handle off, which I don't understand. Set you to cut out. Set the engine run, generator feel, and all that to off, which we'll do. Done. Let's go ahead and go to the offices. Unfortunate event. Mechanics will work on the HEP issue with the train. Well, I hope they will, because I'm not going to. Climb down those steps. Can I not shut this door? There we go. I like how they actually have the dirt on the doors too. That's pretty cool how they actually have like the dirt. So it's not like brand new. So you actually looks like it's been used for a while. That's honestly really cool. Should we look both ways before crossing the... Oh, there's a crosswalk over here. Did not see that. Let's go over here. I'll look both ways before we cross. Make sure no trains are coming that we get killed. Cool, cool, cool. Done, done, done. Right over here. And we're good. Alright, guys. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Drop a comment. Hit that subscribe button. Follow me on all the social medias. And yeah, for the most part, let's see, we went 44 minutes, 27.4 miles, walked 614 yards for 6,195 points. I leveled myself up to level 9, Peninsula Corridor 7, MP36 is 4, and level cap car is level 2. Alright guys, that's going to go ahead and do it. Take care.